fantastic to meet you. Thanks so much for taking the time to speak with us.
You're welcome.
We're here at the O2 Forum in Kentish Town.
On this lovely terrace.
This lovely terrace. So what can you tell us about the gig tonight? I understand it's the 15th anniversary of your Jet album, Get Reborn.
It is. It's we split up 8 years ago. We reformed last year. We did some opening shows for Bruce Springsteen in Australia. And that sort of sparked a bit of a reunion, I suppose, and which coincided with the 15-year anniversary of the debut album, Get Born. So we embarked on this tour, which is now, tonight's the last night. It's been three months, 4 or 5 months. I don't remember, it's been a long time. And
you've spent quite a bit of time touring in Australia, as well as here in the UK, so how's that been for you?
It's been fun, because we hadn't done anything together for a long time. I'd done a little bit of touring with my solo stuff, but nothing to this extent, like, being away for 3 months. Like, all of us have children now as well, which obviously changes everything. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, but it's been a different dynamic. Having this job now as a parent as well is like, changes things a lot. But it's been good fun. We've been able to travel again and, spend a lot of time together, as bandmates and friends, because, when things ended, it didn't end all that well for us. So it's been nice to sort of heal old wounds and, and celebrate this album that, was a huge moment in all of our lives and sent us all on an incredible journey. And yeah, it's been nice to come back and celebrate that, not just for what it is, because we're not promoting anything, we're not selling anything. It's a nice time.
And what's it been like revisiting this album? Because the success of it was just explosive, and the number of awards, number of sales. I mean, what's it like going back to it?
It was weird in the beginning, to be honest, because as I said, things didn't end all that well between us. So when we started, everyone was a little bit apprehensive at first and sort of walking on eggshells around each other, which was weird, but also a bit of a sign of respect, I suppose. But it didn't take us that long to get back to where we were. I mean, now it feels more like it did in the very beginning, just like sort of friends again, and it's been really fun. But the music itself, it's full of memory for us, full of really strong memories, like the experiences that we shared. There's only 3 other guys on this planet who know what I went through, and that's these 3 guys. So it's nice to it's been nice to be able to revisit that time in our lives all together in a nice way.
And what about the response from the fans? Because I, for one, remember a lot of these tracks, providing the soundtrack to my time at university. Well, so it must be a bit of a trip down nostalgia lane.
It is. I think it's nostalgic for us, and it's also nostalgic for a lot of people. Because it's been weird though, because there's a lot of people who are revisiting it from a nostalgic perspective, but at the same time, we've been surprised to see that there's actually a lot of young people who are coming and seeing the shows and hearing the songs coming to the shows for the very first time. People who are, 14 or 13 when the album came out, and now they're old enough to come to the shows. It's nice to have a bit of youth thrown into the mix as well,
Yeah. Have you got a favourite track?
The songs that I enjoy playing now, like a few songs that for whatever reason we stopped playing at a certain time. Like there's a song called Radio Song, which none of us can remember why, but we just stopped playing it at a certain time. So it's been nice to revisit that. Another song called Timothy, which again, for some reason, we just sort of stopped playing. A lot of the ballads we kind of shied away from for some reason at a certain point. So it's been nice to include them back in the set.
And, what do you think made it so special? What is it that really hit a chord with people back then and means that it's still, held on its own through this time?
I think it's just I think the songs are good, first of all. Like there's a lot of melody in them. The choruses are strong, so it's easy to, there's an immediacy to them when you hear them. But I think also we were really young. We were the album was 15 years ago that it came out, but they were written long even before that. Some of the first songs like Look What You Done, and even Are You Gonna Be My Girl I was 17 years old when I wrote those songs. So I think there was a real naivety and an enthusiasm in us when we were writing those songs. I think we were somehow able to capture that on tape, because there's a real excitement and a I don't know, I remember how I felt back then, and we were just full of hope and very naive, but very excited and very just eager, and I think all of those sort of feelings, you can sort of hear them in the music.
And obviously you got to tour with the Rolling Stones, Oasis, then more recently playing with Bruce Springsteen. What's been like a bit of a highlight for you, working with the band? And is there anyone else that you guys would love to play with?
I mean, I guess the fun thing about this has been just like the journey has been, I mean, there's been thousands of people who I've met through this adventure, you know, like, I mean, you know, big bands like that, but also some wonderful people in lesser known bands who we formed really strong friendships with. And, you know, I remember particularly back around the time when Get Born came out, like, I mean, that was around the time of like, there was the Strokes, the White Stripes and the Hives, and I remember Kings of Leon. We were kind of like this part of the second wave, I guess. Like, I remember doing a first ever American tour with Kings of Leon, and I remember they were much like us back then, you know. There were brothers in the band. We were all the same age, and we were all kind of excited to be part of, like, at that time there was a really exciting kind of movement going on, you know, the sort of rock and roll revival, and you know, I have very fond memories of that whole period. It was the first time doing everything, like traveling, visiting America, coming to the UK, like, you know, traveling all around Europe. It was just a really nice, fun time.
And how do you think things have changed, looking at the kind of broader music landscape? I mean, for a while people were saying sort of like guitar bands were dying out, but there seems to be, you know, a kind of renewed appetite for it, certainly from the younger generation.
I think people always make comments like that, but the thing is, like, fads always, you know, they things come in and out of fashion, and, you know, I think the important thing is just to stick to whatever it is that you like yourself, and I don't really get too involved in those sort of things.
And coming to, you know, your more recent solo stuff, you had your album out, Sugar Rush, in November last year. What inspired that album, and how's that process been for you?
It was kind of difficult, to be honest, because when things ended with Jet, like, it wasn't a very good time for us as a band, like, personally, and, you know, there's a lot of negative things, energy going around at that time, unfortunately. But I don't know, I always got to a point where I was just feeling very unsatisfied with a lot of things that were going on at that time, like the direction the band was headed in, the energy within the band, the relationships, and even myself. Like, I didn't really feel like I was functioning at my full capacity, you know. And I made a decision that, unfortunately, probably the best thing for me to do would be to step away and reevaluate. But I was so sort of deflated, to be honest, by how badly things sort of ended, that it took me a long time to just I don't know, like, realize I wasn't sure about a lot of things after that. I was really sort of confused, and so I thought, well, I need to just flip everything. So I moved. I went to the Middle East with my wife. Traveled around Jordan and Israel and Palestine, and then I relocated to Berlin for a while and just started from zero. And I just wanted to remove myself completely from the life that I had and put myself in a completely different situation, in an uncomfortable one, actually, as well, you know. And I went back to school. I studied German for a while, and then I studied Italian, and, you know, so just even that, stopping being a frontman in a rock and roll band and going back to school was like, you know, it was a very weird zone for a while, but I loved it, because it was I kind of felt like those sort of things were necessary then. And that enabled me to have enough distance from the life that I had, and then come back to it with a fresh perspective, and having done it that way, I was everything sort of became clearer, you know, because there wasn't all the confusion that I'd felt before, and I was able to just really start from zero and take some risks, and that's when I started. And the whole, you know, it was like all of a sudden, music, I had a desire to start writing music. It just sort of happened naturally again, you know, like it did in the very beginning when I was 16. So that was important for me. And then I just started writing again, and you know, little by little, songs started coming together, and it was a fun period, because I really had no idea what I was doing, but I was enjoying that, you know. And I went to a studio every day just on my own, and I found a cheap studio in Berlin. I just went to work kind of 4 days a week for about 4 or 5 months, and just wrote and had fun. And I played. I mean, I wrote all of the songs, played all of the instruments, which I'm not particularly good at, by the way, but I got good during the process, you know. So yeah, it was just fun being in a completely different situation and well out of my comfort zone, but having a really good time.
And where do you think you're going to go from here? Are you guys gonna keep working together, and then you'll also keep your solo stuff going?
I don't know.
further?
Like, I mean, this has gone really well, and it's been fun to revisit. But I think, you know, I would hate to milk this reunion for more than necessary. And I think to carry on playing these songs would kind of be a bit boring. I think, and I think fans deserve a little bit more than that. So if this were to continue, there'd have to be some new music. But I don't know. For now, I'm just happy that to come back here and sort of heal the wounds, and at the very least park this project in a much better place than where we left it 8 years ago. You know, so that was an important first step, and then beyond that, I don't know. We'll see. But definitely, you know, I'm loving writing music again, and I'd like to at least continue doing that in some capacity. But yeah, I mean, it's fun because I don't know. Like, it was nice to write songs completely on my own and be the master of my own destiny, but you know, the idea of collaborating with someone else now is becoming interesting again too. So, but it's just nice not having a plan. You know, that's kind of the fun thing.
And then you must be really excited about tonight. What do you think? What's in store for the London fans?
Well,
do you think they go the wildest out for you?
I don't know. We well, tonight's the last night of the tour, so whatever happens is going to be fun for us. Particularly afterwards.
Yeah, you can finally relax, kick back and enjoy it.
But you know, it's good because we're playing the whole Get Born out, all the songs from that album, and then throwing in a bunch of other ones. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
All right, brilliant. Well, I'll let you go and get ready,
Nice
and
one.
hope you have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It's
thanks.
going to be brilliant.
Cheers.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.